Golden Bachelorette, Chock Chapple ditches Joan and goes solo in a big way. September 26, 2025. Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel Bachelor Nation News fans. A new season of The Golden Bachelorette premiered this week, but what fans didn't expect was to see a new side of Chock Chapple. He was the winner of the first Golden Bachelorette season. He sparked rumors after ditching his fiancée, Joan, and going solo in a big way. Keep reading for all the details. Joan Vassos shares disappointing Golden Bachelorette wedding update. Golden Bachelorette fans have been waiting for Joan Vassos and Chock Chapple to really commit to their relationship in a tangible way. The senior couple still don't live together a year after their engagement. They possibly never will. Chock lives his life in Kansas, while Joan still resides near her kids in Maryland. The two connect where they can, but enjoy time apart too. Despite not living together, fans still want them to marry sooner rather than later. Joan's dream wedding involves their blended families, but will Bachelor Nation viewers see it on TV? In a shocking admission, she recently confessed to People magazine that they haven't been approached by ABC about a televised wedding. But who could blame the network? They shelled out big bucks for Golden Bachelor Jerry Turner to marry Teresa Nist. The marriage ended in divorce 3 months later. Joan and Chock's nuptials may not air on TV, but she's not leaving fans out of it. Click here to read the special way she plans to include Golden Bachelorette viewers. Chock Chapple ditches Joan and goes solo. Joan Vassos and Chock Chapple's relationship is unique in comparison to other Bachelor Nation pairings. As mentioned, they don't live together or spend time together 24/7. Whether that helps or hurts their relationship remains to be seen. Chock Chapple is an insurance agent with his own business in Kansas. Sounds pretty boring, right? So you can imagine how viewers were shocked to see him ooze charisma in a solo career move without Joan Vassos. Viewers who tuned in to the Golden Bachelor premiere on Wednesday, September 24th, were treated to a commercial featuring none other than Joan's fiancé. Chock Chapple promoted an implant that helps with sleep apnea. For several Bachelor Nation fans, Chock's commercial was the highlight of the night. One fan wrote, "Get that bag." Another added, "He's pretty good." A third fan wrote that Chock's commercial made the premiere worth slogging through. Best sponsored content ever. Great job from a genuinely great guy, a fourth fan wrote. Several Bachelor Nation stars, including Jesse Palmer, Grant Ellis, and Jordan Heller, congratulated Chock Chapple in the comments of the Instagram post. It doesn't look like Joan Vassos wrote anything in response to her fiancé's solo career move. He isn't the first Bachelor Nation finalist to get a brand deal after the show. Season 28 Bachelor runner-up Daisy Kent signed a deal with the Daisy brand of sour cream. Let us know your thoughts on Chock Chapple's solo career move into brand sponsorship.
First announced that Chock Chapple, the 67-year-old retired therapist with a sharp wit and silver-haired glamour, would be stepping into the spotlight as the next Golden Bachelorette, the fandom erupted. Many remembered her from her brief but memorable appearance during Joan Vassos' season of The Golden Bachelor, where she'd been one of Joan's closest confidants on and off screen. Back then, Chock was a background figure, the kind of friend viewers didn't pay much attention to until she dropped a perfectly timed quip or comforted another contestant with a glass of wine and a wise word. But when the cameras turned toward her now, no one was expecting her to ditch Joan in such a spectacular fashion. The announcement promo had teased friendship turned fracture, a dramatic cliffhanger that left fans wondering, why did Chock suddenly break away from Joan? Did producers push her into this solo role? Was there jealousy, betrayal, or something deeper brewing? By the time premiere night rolled around, the answer was clear. Chock wasn't standing beside Joan anymore. She was standing alone. And Bachelor Nation? They couldn't stop talking. The break between friends. Chock and Joan weren't just co-stars, they were actual friends in real life. Sources close to production whispered that they had once planned to go on this Golden Bachelorette journey together, possibly in a first-ever dual-need experiment. But somewhere between the casting calls and the first limo arrivals, things went sour. "Joan and I had different visions," Chock said, in a pre-taped confessional, her voice calm but her eyes flashing something sharper. Rumors swirled that Joan wanted the show to be polished, controlled, with minimal drama, while Chock leaned into chaos, wanting to test what it meant to be vulnerable on national TV at an age when society often tells women to fade quietly into the background. She didn't want me to take risks, Chock added, and I realized maybe we weren't meant to walk this road together. That single line sent social media spiraling. Did Chock just accuse Joan of holding her back? The solo leap. When limo night arrived, Chock stunned viewers in a sleek midnight blue gown, her hair swept into a confident chignon, eyes sparkling like she had nothing to lose. The men who stepped out weren't expecting her. They had prepared for Joan. They had written jokes about Joan. They even bought gifts catered to Joan's favorite things. But instead, there stood Chock. "Surprise," she said with a sly grin that made the entire mansion buzz with nervous energy. Some men embraced the twist, thrilled to meet a woman they described as magnetic, sharp, and unpredictable. Others admitted to cameras that they weren't sure how to pivot. And that was exactly how Chock liked it. "I've lived my whole life doing what's expected. I raised my kids, I kept my home, I played by the rules. But tonight, I'm rewriting the rules. If you're not ready for that, there's the door." The room erupted in cheers. Bachelor Nation, however, was split down the middle. Joan's clapped back. Within 24 hours, Joan Vassos broke her silence. On Instagram, Joan posted a message over a black and white photo of roses. "Some friendships are only meant for a season, not a lifetime. Protect your peace." Fans immediately flooded her comments, demanding answers. Was this shade at Chock? Was Joan heartbroken, betrayed, or simply blindsided? Entertainment outlets picked it up within hours, dubbing it the golden feud no one saw coming. But Chock, unbothered, leaned into the controversy. "I don't owe anyone an apology for choosing myself. Not Joan, not Bachelor Nation, not the critics. Women my age are always told to stay quiet, stay polite. I'm done with that." That statement alone ignited a firestorm. Some fans crowned her a hero, others called her a villain. And ABC? They were eating it up. The contestants feel the heat. The men in Chock's season weren't spared from the whirlwind either. Several were overheard saying things like, "I signed up for Joan, not Chock. This feels like a bait and switch. She's beautiful, but is she too much?" But others leaned all the way in. One suitor, 71-year-old artist Marco, stunned Chock when he sketched her portrait on the very first night, declaring, "I didn't come here for Joan. I came here for fate, and fate looks like you." Another, retired firefighter Jerry L., yes, not Jerry Turner, but another Jerry, toasted to her bravery, saying, "It takes guts to step into this spotlight. You're showing us what courage looks like." That moment became a viral TikTok clip, with thousands of women commenting, "Chock is that woman. She didn't just ditch Joan, she ditched expectations. Protect her at all costs." Twitter, or rather X, turned into a battlefield. Hashtag Team Chock versus hashtag Team Joan flooded the trending list. On podcasts, Bachelor Nation alumni debated fiercely. Some called Chock a trailblazer who finally shook off the franchise's safe formula. Others accused her of clout chasing and using Joan as a stepping stone. Katie Thurston, never one to stay quiet, tweeted, "Golden or not, this is the most dramatic Bachelor twist I've ever seen, and I live for it." Meanwhile, Trista Sutter chimed in more cautiously. "Friendship is sacred. Watching women tear each other down at this age hurts my heart." The fandom was split, but hooked. The vulnerability beneath the armor. As episodes unfolded, something unexpected happened. Behind her witty one-liners and fierce independence, Chock began to reveal cracks in her armor. In one tearful moment by the fire pit, she confessed to a contestant, "I loved Joan, she was my rock, but somewhere along the way I realized I had stopped being me. This journey, it's not about ditching her, it's about finding myself again." That vulnerability transformed how many viewers saw her. She wasn't just a diva who broke off from a friend, she was a woman rediscovering her worth. And by mid-season, critics who had dismissed her began admitting, maybe Chock was exactly what the Golden franchise needed. But just when the show seemed to settle into its rhythm, producers dropped another bombshell. Joan returned in a surprise cameo. The two women came face to face on camera, and tension filled the air. "Why, Chock?" Joan asked, softly, eyes brimming. Because I had to, Chock replied, her voice breaking. What followed was part argument, part reconciliation, part unresolved ache. It was reality TV gold, the kind of confrontation fans would replay for weeks. And whether they left as enemies or estranged sisters, one thing became undeniable. This wasn't just about love anymore. This was about rewriting what it meant to age, to grow, to choose yourself. Going solo, going strong. By the time Chock handed out her final rose, she had become a symbol. Some men stayed, some left, but in the end, the biggest twist wasn't about who she chose. It was about how she chose. Chock didn't end her season with a proposal. She didn't even end it with a boyfriend. She ended it solo, by choice. I came here to find love, and I did. I found it in myself. Bachelor Nation gasped, cried, and argued. Was it satisfying? Was it anticlimactic? Or was it the boldest move in franchise history? The legacy of Chock Chapple. Months later, Chock was still trending. Pieces poured in. The Golden Bachelorette who refused to play by the rules. Chock Chapple and the rise of self-partnered love stories. Did she betray Joan or did she save herself? One thing was certain, Chock had carved out her place in the Bachelor history books, not as someone's sidekick, not as a golden girl, but as a trailblazer who ditched Joan, ditched tradition, and went solo. And in the end, that was the most dramatic season finale of all.